A gracious good afternoon, Sphene Universe. This is Coach T, Professor Tommy Halstead, coming with you for your Decision 3 recap. Now, as we get to 3, 4, and 5 here, we're taking the training wheels off. You know this sim. You've done great. Everybody's above positive EBIT now, and we've got even everyone's in positive ROSE. So retained earnings is always tough, but team, you've got it down. We've had a really competitive week. We've switched between places 1 and 2 with green and blue. And blue's been basically a team of two. We've had a lot of trouble kind of getting that team together, and they're just doing fantastic work. So neck and neck, a few points apart. Now, as we proceed to the end here, after decision 4, there's no more recaps because 5 has got a whole different thing going on, and there's not another period. So this is also going to be an expedited, showing you things, take shots, but no more commentary by me. You've got this down. So you can look at the data, review it, and I'm trying to make it quickly because of your time constraints. So you can take the screenshots of things I put together for you, but then analyze them yourself. And I'm going to give you as much information as possible on everything that's happened because you really now have the refinement. You know what's going on here. So let's jump into screen sharing, and then I'll just run through what we usually do with lost over inventory, comparing it back to our EBIT results. But you'll see exactly what's going on with the division between the first and second, and then the third and fourth also switching place, but still being very, very close. So here we go. So to begin with, this is what was shared on Halo, just a couple of things with the faculty report and then the standings. Again, you can see that Reds had quite the sine curve, jumping up and down all the way to second place and now to fourth. And it's been a real challenge as they've competed with Blue especially. And now Blue's jumped ahead amazingly of Green. Green is still very close. You can see by the numbers here that there's a bigger jump when we get to yellow and red, which is 19 and 21, only a couple points ahead. But remembering again with the 6 indicators, the best score you can get is 6 because you're number 1 in all of them. And blue team is doing fantastic at number 9 there. And green is still really strong in 11 with first place in share value, first place in returns ARE and ROCE. So those are the 3 really strong indicators. But there's an additional first place and another 2 second places are 3 with share value, retained earnings, and the key, and probably Rose and Rose 2. Yeah, so Blue Team just knocked it out. And you can again see we still have some number 2s and 3s in the other 2 teams, especially in emissions. Let me see, red team. Yeah, there's red team's number 2 in emissions. And so then you really these things look a lot bigger than they are, the log scales, because there are teams that are much closer. And also, we'll jump into the faculty report right now and show you the how fantastic we've done on EBIT here. So here we go. And what a difference from where we started, where everybody was underwater. There are only a couple little peaks here. Look at image. I mean, red is still struggling a little, trying to get to their image with inventory. You'll see that last order inventory. But, there's you had yellow. Why are they tied kind of for third and fourth? Well, again, there's a little problem here with yellow, but not bad in low cost. But then family is usually almost as high as this, with everybody being positive by third or fourth decision. But yellow struggled with family, which is really different and amazing. So has red. Family has a lot of cash and a lot of growth going on, but also you have to really match what you're making, and the marketing you have to be careful of because the family, likes roominess. They're okay, consumption okay, but you can see that when we look at the white lines, what the difference are. So fantastic, great job. Now we've looked at, you can take screenshots of this. I won't get into a lot of the um, results, and I'll jump into each line. Here's low cost. Take a shot of that. Watch the reds. Family, keep an eye on, emulate the best what's going on with blue here. what's going with green, and where's red right on and yellow right on, but missing a couple things by doing a little too much or too less. All right, let's make sure you can get a screenshot of the whole thing. This should be family. Family, there's your capacity. Let's jump up to eco. Eco, which usually kills everyone. Look at capacity here. Where are we at? All right, 74, 55, 58, 59. That red capacity there should be, and eco should be a little closer to those two. Let's look at image where everybody did well. Red struggled a little bit. Capacity's not bad. Evolution next versus current should be around positive territory. And revenue is key. All right, so let's jump into our, I'll sort it over inventory. All right, here's low cost. We can see the lines where, let's first look at in low cost where our blue and green teams ended up. All right, blue dropped their inventory down to almost zero, and green grew and reclaimed their lost orders almost to zero. So they did great. Red did not do bad, and yellow sort of had a comeback here with where they were deeply in trouble with lost orders and figured out how to make it. So everybody's really much closer to the zero line. Look at this from where we started out. And congratulations to all four teams managing your inventory and matching supply and demand. That's amazing. Now, family was a problem for two, but not for two. So where's our two for two that were problems, which were red and yellow? And there we have it. Here's the story. Red and yellow both still have significant inventory, although red, made some progress there. And look at our two leaders here, really close on that line. A little bit of lost orders, but nothing to talk about. And this tight band here is characteristics of the end and getting to the end where you really got this down. So, and family was a bit of a surprising issue. Eco's always tough. And let's see, look at this. Blue brought it back to where they had the problem with inventory. So again, fantastic management here. Look at this zero line. Everybody's right here. This is like starting out and ending up perfect. I mean, everybody's doing so well on this right now. Image, red it was the only team that had a problem with image. This is a zero line. Green had a little bit, lost orders more, and this is one reason Blue took over. Well, everyone did fantastic in image, with the exception, even though they're positive, red just built a huge amount of inventory up here. So the marketing and the sales and image and the characteristics that it's looking for is important. So there's some other indicators we haven't looked at a lot, and I'm going to just quickly go through them. Like, where's Y cost? What's driving our costs? Take a screenshot. And here's the story with red and image. That's what drives cost. Start with red. Here's the settings in low cost. Outstanding work. We can see a little bit where we're underspending for low cost, which they want a little more performance, but that's expensive. And CapEx, let's look at family. To say that all the teams really got this down is an understatement. Look at how good everybody's doing here on matching. Really a good understanding. Now, this is eco's always tough. Let me see where's consumption on eco. Okay, yeah, so a little more, which is really expensive in EBIT and CapEx, spend more than you need. It'd be better to be a little under here. What do we got? We got robustness is okay. Where's size? Size is spending a little bit too much, but not terribly. What is that slider? What's the technology slider at? Oh, okay, technologies here, and it's in technologies is understanding it's three. That's really low in technology for something that's high tech like eco, and image. Let's look at image. Red in image. So there's a lot more spending going on here than what the customer really wants. A lot more in very high things. So to go after image, you have to match your, well, be careful your inventory buildup. And also we haven't looked at price, but that's got to be an issue here too. Okay, here we have our winner, emulate the best. Again, this is what this should look like. Ideal. We really got to look at image where they just took it away. Really tight. Friendly. Outstanding. Image. Almost like a how-to manual. Look at how consistent that is. A little bit of underspinning and what comfort. Not bad. Not much. Obviously in red and blue. Let's take a look at yellow. Let's see low cost. Yep. Outstanding. Family. Wow. What a picture. Family has been nailed. So we've got it's just not the issue of what the customer wants, it's matching supply and demand there. All right, eco, not bad for eco too. I'll see all the teams have really got this down. Image, close. Runner up. Good decisions all along. This is family, a little bit on size there. They really want size and family. Excellent. And did fantastic in image. Last final look at price here in low cost. Uh, Yellow is quite a bit looking for profit here, but this again, demand at around 40 for everybody to be 50 ahead in any of the lines to be 10 points ahead is, unless you have a flywheel there, is risky because it could drop your revenues way down. Uh, yeah, you can see the effect of this high price on revenue here and demand. Even though they have a good cost of goods sale. Let's see, family. This is just a quick look at price. Yeah, yellow. Wow. Not quite sure what yellow's doing here with really hitting the prices really, really high, but then just reflective how what happened with the orders and the demand and the actual revenue. And yeah, you can see that red match there by going that high in price, and that's what's happening to revenue. Eco. Well, yeah, the sweet spot here is probably between 65 and 70. So red's not that bad. 85 is really high, but still beat red in revenue here. Um, is this eco? Yeah, this is eco. That's fine. Okay. And now image. Let's see what happened to red there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We have really can see in image what's going on in terms of revenue versus this price is a completely split price between red and yellow at really high price and blue and green very close to each other with blue on pricing a little bit below green, and you see part of the reason for the switch in image there, and especially looking at revenue. I mean, I wonder what revenue is for yellow here, because they've always been strong. Oh yeah, here we go. Revenue's still strong with in yellow. So it looks like, yeah, with the same price and the 90%. Anyway, these are just to show you some price points and what the effect on revenue, and take a screenshot of anything you need. And there we have it. That's our recap going into our fourth decision, which is our last. Actually, the fourth it's not our last. There's a fifth decision, but our fourth is the last that is standard with a next period supply demand relationship and all that good stuff. So when you get to five, there's a big trick with inventory and all no holds of art. I mean, all things go. Anything can happen. We've had last place teams jump up to first because of the inventory situation and not having to worry as much about the next period. So, but this one is fourth is your last kind of really considered decision where you can really move competitively with all of the wheels turning. And fifth, it's more fun, kind of a quick meeting to say, what can we do with inventory? And we'll have a pre-fifth kind of video. I won't be doing a recap, obviously, after four and five because you don't have another period in five. The sim is over. So um, don't forget, if you're watching this before Sunday at midnight to get your peer reviews in. I noticed there was still some stragglers on the, not many, maybe five on the peer reviews. Don't let it go past midnight because I can't recapture the peer reviews. It just zeroes it out. It's very automated because it's really your own decisions that we go by. So again, thank you very much. It's been fun and it's been a great, just absolutely great sim run this time with everybody getting into positive territory. Thank you, and we will see you in Halo. Don't forget announcements. I'll have a lot more stuff in announcements as usual.